Alright guys, with the arrival of subclassing, I think a lot of people are wanting to know where the best grind spots are. And the best grind spot isn't always necessarily what you may think it is, and we're going to discuss that throughout this video. As I'm showing the different grind spots in the background, we'll talk a little bit about it, and I'm also going to give you guys some knowledge as we go. There is individual links linked in the description if you guys just want to see the individual routes for each grind spot. And without further ado, let's get into it. So first off, in the background, we have both of Alicare's deserts grind spots. These are both zombie grind spots, and these are really good XP if you can get these spots to yourself and one other individual. And you don't really need too much damage or anything to kill these things. They're pretty simple. You do have two different spots. Now, I highly recommend if you go to these spots and there's quite crowded, there's like 3-4 people there, try some other spots, because this spot only really shines when it's you and someone else, maybe 3 people. The first tip I'll give you is Heartland's Conqueror is a really good crafted set for leveling, because not only do you get the training passive, but you also get double the training passive on the weapon, giving yourself 7-8% free XP for just running this set. Now, if you are doing 0 to 50 and not just doing subclass lines here, you are going to outgrind your gear very fast. So Twiceborn Star is another really good option if you're doing 0 to 50, because the bonus never really weakens like it does on other sets as you're leveling up. So generally you can get a little bit more out of Twiceborn Star than other sets, because you don't kind of outgrow it as much. Now, as you can see in the background, we've swapped to the second Alicare's desert location. This is bit more my favorite, maybe just because I have a lot more muscle memory here, a lot more hours grinded here, but this goes pretty much the same as the other zombie grind in Alicare's desert. If you can get this to yourself and one other person, or 3 tops, it's actually a pretty solid location. Now we move to Cold Harbor. This is an OG spot that is still pretty good. I'd kind of maybe use this more as a last resort if any of the other spots in this video aren't working for you. But once again, it's not bad. I think from memory, it's 20-30% under what the zombie grind is. But we start to move into the really, really good grind spots. So let's have a little look-see at Skyreach. So in the background, I'm showing the full rotation of Skyreach. Now, I've spent a lot of time in this place over the years, and I've found that just pulling that first room and doing the first half, resetting the dungeon, and then going again is slightly more XP than doing the full rotation. So just keep that in mind. Now, when it comes to subclassing, Skyreach is as fast as Black Rose Prison. Watching guys do it in there and what I was doing in Skyreach, it was actually a little bit quicker in Skyreach. Now, Black Rose Prison is OP XP, and we'll get to that. But when you're leveling things up, you might not have a proper build with proper things. So things like Black Rose Prison and even Skyreach to some degree can be a lot more tricky if you don't have a dedicated build helping you grind and farm. So just keep those things in mind with Skyreach. Try it out, because everyone's going to be a little bit different, but I was averaging a sub skill line in about 20 to 30 minutes in Skyreach. I was doing 2 in about 50 minutes, around that, give or take. So it was actually really quick. Let's go over some runners up before we go over the big winner of this whole thing and the best XP in the game. Exclamation mark. So as you're seeing in the background, this is the Rift. These locations aren't necessarily the best XP, but if all the other spots are busy and this is all you've got, they are still okay grind spots. But while we're watching this footage in the background, I just want to take a second to give a massive thank you to Juggy for being our first YouTube member, and also a massive thank you to Epic for making 5 more of you guys YouTube members. I haven't said too much about this because it's still in the works, and at the moment, if you want to just support the channel, becoming a member is a great idea, and perks and things like that will come down the line. But I just wanted to take a second to give those guys a thank you and their channels will be linked in the description below. So now in the background is Green Shades. This is another runner-up location. It's decent, but it's not going to be faster than a lot of the other areas we've shown in this video. Now, I do want to quickly mention dolmens in Alicare's desert. If you want to do that, there's heaps of people always doing them, but it is really slow compared to most methods in this video. A couple of other little things you can do too is your daily dungeon and your daily BG. These with training gear and XP pots is a lot of XP. Also, a lot of people don't know that Master Reads can be actually a pretty good source of XP as well. This is base XP numbers you're seeing in the videos, so they can get amped up quite a lot from there. But also, just great XP if you can afford it. Black Rose Prison is some of the best XP in the game and has been for quite some time. But it comes with some catches. And the first catch is this can be quite difficult to do if you don't have really good damage and pulls and all of that kind of stuff, so you can kind of get this done really quickly. And what I've noticed watching streamers and stuff level subclass lines in this place is it's really slow when you don't have optimized builds. And I found that Skyreach, as I said before, was better when you're doing this. That being said, if you have a dedicated character power leveling you through BRP, it is going to be faster than Skyreach. So that all being said, you've decided to do BRP. What you want to do in here is basically kill the mobs and the bosses as quickly as you can. Now, having a pull here is very useful, so you can pull everything in. The footage you're watching is actually quite old, so if things don't look right, that's why. It's just recorded from an older video. The footage is still relevant and good, so I used it. But so yeah, you want to rinse and repeat all the way up to round 4, and then when the boss spawns at the end of round 4, that's when you reset and come back in and rinse and repeat over and over. Now, a few other things I want to mention for new players. XP cap is locked at 300%, so if there is an XP event going on, you could be over the cap and wasting 150 scrolls. So that's something else to keep in mind. So I think that basically wraps everything up, guys. I hope this guide has helped you, and do keep in mind that this wasn't every grind spot in ESO. These are just my favorite. So let me know in the comments if I missed your favorite grind spot, and shout out to Atoll. Some people will understand. All right, as always, I love you guys. I'll catch you next time. Peace.